Hello, this is an update to Background Designer version 1.03 Beta. Now I'm just going to locate the place where I put my custom brushes. And what that's going to do is going to use this brush sort list file to load any previous brushes that I had. I just want to leave this underscore here and click Save. And that's going to open up Background Designer with any brushes I've been messing around with. And messing around being the optimal word. As you can see, I've been messing around with some funky shapes, and there's a new feature on how to get these kind of shapes. So I'm just going to click on this new feature called 3D Distort mode, and what you'll get is this texture checker pattern. And what you can do is you can tilt this and change the scale of it. You can use your mouse wheel or the scaling features, and you can rotate. But this is all kind of like a 3D feature, and you're not just locked down to the texture that you've got here. If you switch to any one of your brushes, let's just find a tree or something. Okay, there's a nice tree there. So as you can see, it also gets distorted. So it's kind of a nice way of distorting an image up and making it look slightly different, and a good way of making a ground plane or a sky plane. I'm just going to click Z here to switch it to the ground. You can flip X and Y, all the same, and you can rotate that around. Let's just switch to a different one. So maybe you want a ground plane, or just a better way of making like a pathway or a ground or anything like that, like dirt or noise. So I'm just going to switch this to new colors and just do tab a few times to get something interesting. That looks pretty cool. So once it's done that, you kind of want to move it so that you're able to capture this, because what it does is when you click Capture 3D, it's just going to give you this temporary brush, right? So it gives me this, and it's going to plop that down, and now I'm going to capture it. It's kind of a two-step process, but this means you can really kind of crop it to save some data, and it's going to get saved into your brush sort list. So I can call this ground patch. Sorry about the noise in the background. There's some car getting put onto some sort of trailer. So now you got a brand new file you can use, and yeah, you can change the colours of that, all the same as well. And that's a pretty new feature. So I'm just going to backspace, control backspace to clear everything, and I'm going to show you another new feature. So if I'm on layer 10 for example, and I put some of these down, go into layer 11 and put some of these down, I can click this preview button here, and you see it starts to blink. And what that does is it's going to change anything in the current layer that I'm on temporarily to adopt new colours. Going to temporarily adopt new colours so you can get an idea of if you like this kind of tone better, and if you do, you can do bake with F4 or just click this button, and that's going to make those brush strokes get the new colours. So I can go back to layer 11, click preview, it holds the last colours that you had. You can right click to recall any of these colours as well, and just click bake, and that's you got two different sets. Now remember, before you can also change the layer that the brush strokes are in by doing undo. So I'll just undo a few of these, and let's say I want one here and I want one in layer 12. I do Ctrl+Alt+Z, back here Ctrl+Z, Ctrl+Shift+Z, sorry. Let's do that again. So go there, Ctrl+Alt+Z, Ctrl+Shift+Z, Ctrl+Alt+Z, Ctrl+Shift+Z, Ctrl+Alt+Z, Ctrl+Shift+Z. So now I've got some brushes in layer 12 and some brushes in layer 11. I can then go over one of those, do the preview, and change some of those up to get a little bit of variety. Let's recall something like that. So I've got some layers kind of doing two different things. So you can kind of easily go back and make a change. If I want to go way back to this first brush stroke, I just undo to the point where I've done it, go to a different layer, do Ctrl+Alt+Z, and if I want to get everything back just as normal, I can just do let's do Ctrl+Enter. Sorry, is it Ctrl+Enter? Yeah, Shift+Enter will show you every single plot you've done. Ctrl+Enter will only redo up to the current plot if you've been undoing. So anyway, what we've got is that first stroke now on layer 5. We're using the preview mode here, so we get to sort of change that very first stroke's colour. and we've kind of isolated that out. And now that you're happy with it, I can go back. If it's important, I can go all the way back to there, come back to layer, I think it was layer 10, yeah, layer 10, and just make sure I bake that, and then can bring everything back. Now to get everything back quickly, just do Shift+Enter, and it'll ask if you want to see everything that you've done ever. Because sometimes you only want to go up to your undo point, so that's Shift+Enter. That'll redo everything up to the last point, which is kind of not really important, but it's there because you want to do like a time lapse. So Ctrl+Enter will do up to the last point. It depends how much you've actually drawn. So Ctrl+Shift+C is normal undo. Just make sure you do like Shift+Enter to get all your undo plots back, and Ctrl+Enter will just do up to the last undo, like that. A little bit confusing at first, but I'm going to work on some UI for that. Again, sorry about the noise in the background if you can hear that. So now that I've got this, I could capture this as a brush, like so. Let's call this test 1. Right, I'm just going to do Control backspace to get rid of everything. I've just got this brush now, all kind of combined into one layer. And let's say I want to do the 3D thing to it, so I'll click on this Distort mode. I choose my new brush. There it is, and I can now do some like distortions with that. Some tilting. I want to flip it to the top, and get a completely different look. So you can flip it any way you like, and once you're happy, it's going to capture what it sees, so it will crop the edges. So you might want to just zoom so that you get that full image in there. It will lose a little bit of resolution, but it's just a nice effect for getting more things, and really handy for doing kind of a pseudo perspective type of effect. And I hope you like that. Yeah, so that is pretty much that. There might be some bugs crop up with this because it's fairly new, but I'm going to update this now. It's version 1.03 B. Everything else will be documented in the previous video, and yeah, all that's new is the 3D distort mode, field of view, tilting, capturing, flipping. Once you do a capture, it sends it to user for the last slot there. So just in case you've got a brush in here, just be wary that the capture 3D will use that slot. Maybe I'll have a separate slot for that completely, like the capture brush or something could be here, and then you can click that to use it. That way it doesn't use up this slot. But this is just a temporary measure whilst I develop this, and I hope you like that feature. So thanks for watching this video, and good luck making some backgrounds. Bye!